Hello. This is Sean Bagden. We are here in Lyndonville, Vermont to talk about some interesting weather that's going to be coming through. Pretty much most of this week is going to has some quite interesting looking things about it. Starting off with last night, we had some pretty intense snow squalls push through, uh, dumping down the snow pretty hard around 4 a.m. here in Lyndonville. Winds gusting, I'd say, to around 40 around here. It was enough to slam the windows shut at night as a mezzolow developed right along the international border there. And as you can see, it is pushed just off into Nova Scotia there, right around the area of Presque Isle. But as we move through, we're pretty much in the height of the cold right now, and it'll continue to get colder throughout the day as we have our northwest flow pushing through. But as this high starts to shift from to the west of us down towards more of the south of us, and it's going to start bringing in more of a southwesterly flow, which will bring in the warmer air, which is down here north towards the southwest in Kentucky and West Virginia, that area. And as you can see, it makes a pretty good progression up here as the 540 line starts receding up towards like the Oswego area in New York City. It will continue to progress like that through the day on the 24th. We will start out, I'm pretty sure, as some snow here in Lyndonville, starting earlier in the day on Friday, probably Friday afternoon, I'd say. And looking at the sounding for that time of the day, we're going to have some pretty marginal temperatures starting then on Friday. Yeah, on Friday on the 24th, starting out at 29 degrees, but we do not have much in the way of warm air aloft at that point. But as we move in through the night and we go into the 25th, warm air overnight will start infiltrating in as the stationary front moves just to the north of us here in the kingdom, just to the north. Any fluctuation north or south could change this forecast quite a bit because we are right on that fine line. But it's looking like we will change over to rain. This could be freezing rain potentially coming in here, though, because we do have that area above 32 degrees where the raindrops will melt, but then surface temperatures will be around 33 degrees. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of that did end up freezing because of the cold air that we do have around so far. So I could see some freezing rain happening during this time, even though the models are hinting on it being plain rain. Looking here at 6Z Saturday the 25th, we're gonna be looking. We're gonna look to see what our boundary temperature is here. We're still at 33 degrees here. Could see this being more of a sleet event if this goes down below freezing anymore. Or no, it would not be. It would be freezing rain because yeah, we'll be closer to freezing near the ground, and that will have some. The raindrops will have plenty of time to melt as they go towards the ground, and they will possibly freeze. Then going through, the stationary front does drop a bit to the south. This will be a very active period here. Stationary front drops to the south. We'll be having a plethora of precipitation types during this time. It will be of the light variety, but you could run in, if you do run into those areas of freezing drizzle around, which are possible, as you can see here, just scattered activity. But if you do run into that freezing drizzle, you could run into some issues with black ice on the roads as temperatures in the lower levels at the ground level will be around freezing. We'll be right at 32 degrees here in Lyndonville, most likely being a snow event by this time. So the stationary front will then start to drift off a bit to the south, but then a new influx of moisture from a developing low out in the Midwest will start to influence us here. This could potentially be the bigger icing event coming in here. Looking at these soundings, 18Z Sunday, March 26th. Here it has us right on the line as high pressure dives in, Arctic high pressure dives in from Canada, and the cold air from that high will not quite be able to make it in through to all, wow, what just happened? To all of the levels in the atmosphere. So we will likely be seeing a freezing rain event out of this, but starting off as potentially some snow here in Lyndonville until it goes and changes over to all of the sleet or freezing rain variety. Let's just look at the depth of the cold air we have at the ground here. That this would actually be trending towards more of a sleet event, because we do have a deep layer of cold air here towards the surface, which would be a good case scenario if we did end up with more of a sleet storm coming through, because freezing rain will cause much larger impacts, no matter the accumulations. But if this high shifts a bit more towards the east or the west, you could be looking at a completely different situation, looking like a higher chance of freezing rain the later we move on into the event. But then after that, we'll just have some scattered showers laying around here of the snow, sleet, or freezing rain, or rain variety actually. And then we have this guy come through, and he could translate off the coast here and turn into quite I'd call it a sleeper storm as of right now. It's 150 hours out, so it's pretty close down the pike here. That's like 5 or 6 days out. So it is definitely something to keep an eye on. Definitely not trusting it yet, but definitely something to keep an eye on around here. See what they've been doing with it. Yeah, like look at this. This run that just came out here has this being a snowstorm, as does this one, but it has it phase off. It has it stronger, and it has it phase off the coast and take a little more off to sea track, which would keep us out of the bullseye of the precipitation. It's been shifting around like this throughout most of the past few days, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. Looking like the potential is there for a sizable storm to come through, and this would put us in the bullseye of the storm. Beginning of the storm will be a little bit shaky here, as it is translating down to the coast, because the earlier that happens, the more cold air is going to get into the storm, and we'll be able to get a bigger snowstorm the earlier it translates over and the closer it stays to the coast. So looking at this looks like it's going to start out as all snow here. Looks quite borderline though. We're right on the edge. Here, looking at the soundings before it starts really getting beefy off the coast there. It's just a really close situation here. It could be a sleet mix. It could be a snow-sleet mix to start. Some areas may even be starting out as rain in the Champlain Valley, but as it shifts, makes that shift from the St. Lawrence River